How is YouTube gonna look in a few years? A lot of us are wondering about that, and yeah, I'm one of them, as a YouTube creator myself. Just today, I was reading this post on X from a YouTube strategist. He was basically explaining how YouTube is already using AI to supercharge its algorithm. And from that article came some pretty dystopian predictions, let's call them that, about what YouTube could turn into in just a couple of years. That's exactly what I want to talk about today in this quick on-the-fly podcast episode. No real script, no fancy structure, just riffing off what I read, plus one more thing I saw on X that I think is gonna make talking head videos even harder to find, or at least way rarer, because we are talking real humans here. Talking head videos like the one I'm doing right now are probably gonna be one of the first formats that gets seriously threatened by the incoming wave of AI. So let's jump straight into the dystopian scenario. This is what that strategist guy predicts is coming for YouTube, and honestly, I pretty much agree. I think it's gonna play out more or less like this. Right now, YouTube's algorithm, up until recently anyway, used to look at stuff like what kind of videos is Jim making, what title does he pick, what's the thumbnail, what's in the description, what keywords and tags did he throw in. Those tags and keywords, they don't really matter that much anymore, because the algorithm basically has supercomputers behind it now. They have evolved so much that they don't wait for us humans to explain our videos with tags and keywords. The computers can figure it out on their own, super easily. Beyond the titles, description, tags, and thumbnail, the algorithm already pulls out random frames from our videos at regular intervals. It looks at those frames together with everything else and goes, okay, this video Jim just uploaded, it's a podcast, it's a talking head video. Guy sitting in front of the camera just sharing his thoughts. So it already knows the format. And what's the video actually about? The algorithm reads the transcript, the words I'm saying right this second. It turns them into those auto captions you probably see under the video if you are watching on YouTube. I didn't write those captions. AI did. All of this happens on the computer side. The system figures out the topic of the video I just made, all by itself. Right now, it takes a little while for the algorithm to process everything and decide this video from Jim is about AI on YouTube. But according to the predictions, in just a few months, maximum a year, this is all gonna happen in real time. Those captions, if I was live streaming right now, they would appear instantly. We are sitting here in January 2026 and already on Netflix, when they show live events or whatever live stuff they have, you can turn on captions. But there is still a few second delay, at least from what I've seen. By the end of 2026, that delay could be completely gone. Real-time captions, zero lag. Now, how does all this tie back to YouTube videos? Talking head videos are simple. Fixed camera, like the one filming me right now. I'm talking straight to you, and by now you know me. I'm Jim Makos, that's who's speaking. But there are already AI tools out there. If you are deep into social media, you've probably seen them, where right now I could swap my face and my voice, turn myself into a woman, into a kid, into an old man, into anybody I want. Change gender, race, skin tone, hair, everything. You wouldn't even know if it's really me talking or if it's an AI version I created that's saying the exact same things I'm saying. Everything I'm telling you right now, well, I could have already had AI generate the script, fed it in, and then either read it myself or not even bother sitting here. Just put somebody else or some AI avatar in my place. So talking head videos are slowly becoming the most at-risk format. That's why personal recognizability is going to matter so much more. But I'm gonna save that part for later, like my third big point, how at least I'm planning to deal with this incoming AI wave, which has already messed with the websites I have built over the last 20 years. The other dystopian angle, because yeah, talking heads are one thing, but what happens on a much bigger scale across all of YouTube for every creator? Up until now, the algorithm watched me or you and learned, okay, Jim likes these kinds of videos. He watches nature stuff, vlogs, home renovation videos, whatever. Everybody's got their own mix. The more time we spend watching on YouTube, the more the algorithm trains itself on our behavior. How we interact, how we engage. We like a video, we subscribe, we drop a comment, we watch most of it, or we bail after 10 seconds. Based on all that behavior, the algorithm figures out what we are probably gonna want to watch next. That's why you get those suggested videos on the side. And the next time you open YouTube, your homepage is already full of videos the algorithm thinks you've got a really high chance of clicking. It's trying to tempt us, keep us on the platform longer, because that's the number one goal of every internet platform out there. Keep us glued to their site as long as possible. Well, it's the exact same thing I do on my own websites. When somebody lands on a site I built, I want them to stay as long as they can. The longer they hang around, the more they trust me, and the more likely they are to buy something I'm selling or click an ad, or whatever the monetization method is. It's all about milking that traffic. So far, so good. Humans make the videos, viewers watch what they like, I watch what I like, YouTube figures out what I'll probably like next, and starts shoving more of it in my face. But what happens in 1 or 2 years once the AI that's already learning from all this stuff looks at my history and goes, oh, well, okay, Jim has been watching a lot of this and that. Next time he logs in, he might want to know how LLMs actually work. Like, how do these things even run behind the scenes? I haven't dug into it myself. How does ChatGPT, Gemini, or those models that spit out perfect answers when I type in a question, how do they do that? Instead of me digging around for some human creator who's already explained it, the algorithm thinks, hold up, why not just make him a video? I'll do it myself, right here on YouTube. No need to serve him the best human-made video on the topic. I'll cook one up fresh. So next time I open the app, bam, right on my home screen. Everything you need to know about artificial intelligence, or whatever title they think will hook me. I go, oh yeah, that's exactly what I want to see. Click. And that video, it wasn't made by a person. It was cooked up by a computer, maybe even on the spot, or at least assembled from pieces that didn't exist 5 minutes ago. Inside, there will be people talking to me, except they don't exist. They are AI-generated faces. The script, AI too. The stock footage, the B-roll shots, none of it was ever filmed. It's all Sora, Gemini, Grok, whatever tool spat out those pixels. Everything gets stitched into a tidy 5-minute explainer. Here's how LLMs work inside ChatGPT. I watch it, finish, and the voiceover goes, now that you get the basics, want to know how AI generates images, or how to decorate your place better, or tips on filming your own vlogs, like how to use cameras properly? Let me whip up 3 more videos for you. Click, click, click. Suddenly, I'm in a loop. Every recommendation is AI made. I'm not seeing human content anymore. And I might not even notice because those avatars look just like real people. Just like me right now. We already have talking head videos that could be anyone or no one. You sit there, listen, and they convince you. You buy what they're selling. Now, scale that up. Imagine a full course, a whole playlist, an entire TV show, a 5-season Netflix series, all generated on demand. Why? Because you want it. You are looking for something gripping, something you can binge. So instead of waiting for humans to deliver, the AI says, let me just make what Jim wants. right now. That's the dystopian future of creativity online, at least how a lot of people see it, including me. And we will end up with, 90% of everything we consume on these platforms being AI generated. It's exactly like what's already happening with search. Right now, instead of Googling how to stop a dripping faucet and reading some random blog or watching a video where a guy shows you step by step, the AI just answers you directly in the search box. I saw one today. Here's how to fix your leaky tap. Boom, done. Or yesterday, I learned how to roast chestnuts because some dude explained it on video. But why wait for him? Why not have a video pop up the second I search for it? That's what I'm already doing in ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok, whatever. I type, how do I stop this faucet from dripping? Or how do I roast chestnuts? And out comes 1,000 words in neat bullet points. Same thing, but now it's video, generated in real time. Terrifying, right? And super dangerous in my opinion. So what do we do as humans, especially as creators, when this AI wave hits? Everybody's free to figure it out on their own way. But me, I've been laser focused on YouTube lately, and my big bet is simple. Do something only I can do. Something AI can't copy. Something so uniquely me that even if it tries, it will fall flat. Because that's already how people cheat. Back in university, we would plagiarize whole papers, add a couple of our own pages, and call it original. Today on social media, if a post goes viral, 50 copycats with millions of followers steal it. My video gets 100 views, theirs gets millions, and they cash in on my work. But if my face is in the video, if that's my signature, people will know it's me. They'll recognize Jim Makos. They'll know the real thing. That's the power of personal recognition. Something I used to avoid like the plague. I never wanted to be famous. I always preferred staying behind the scenes, out of the spotlight, off camera, invisible. Unfortunately, that life plan I had, staying completely behind the scenes, is slowly falling apart. I don't see it working anymore, at least not in my case, because to survive and thrive in this coming AI world, I'm afraid you are gonna have to build fame, real personal brand recognition, something I never wanted. And once you get famous, well, good luck shaking it off. You are famous for life. We see it with celebrities, actors, all those people, it's a whole other topic. So right now, the only thing left for me to do, and I'm already doing it on YouTube, as you can see if you've been following, is lean hard into personal stories, personal projects. I actually left a comment under that strategist post, the one I mentioned at the beginning, saying exactly this. I think this is how we creators are gonna survive. Make content, videos, text, photos, whatever, that's genuinely ours, truly personal. Like right now, I'm sitting here in my living room talking to you. You've seen this room 100 times. You know it's mine. You've seen my face. You know it's me, Jim Makos. Sure, somebody could try to copy me. But if they do, they'd have to slap my face on it. They could steal my exact words, feed them to an AI avatar that looks like somebody else, or even looks like me, and put it in a different background, saying the same stuff. That's straight up plagiarism. YouTube is already getting good at spotting it. Hey, this transcript matches Jim's video word for word. You copied. So what does the copier do next? They take my transcript, reword a bunch of sentences, keep the exact same meaning, and boom, 3 minutes later, they've got a new video that says everything I just said. Or the AI itself could just summarize my whole 17-minute rant, like YouTube has already doing with those auto summaries under videos, and give you the too long didn't read version so you don't have to sit through the full thing. But maybe you, the one watching right now, actually like the human connection. You like seeing a real person sitting here, looking at the camera, wanting to talk to you. Maybe that teleprompter I usually use kills some of that vibe. Right now I'm going completely off script, straight from the brain and the heart, no reading. It's harder for me, no question. But honestly, it feels way more fun this way. And I think it's more enjoyable for you too, more real, more engaging. Because this human touch, it's gonna disappear more and more as AI keeps advancing. We are gonna get lonelier. We are already glued to screens 24/7. Kids are growing up with phones in their hands. They'll grow up with AI as normal as we grew up with the internet being everywhere. We are heading straight towards something that looks a lot like Ready Player One. If you read the book or seen the movie, you know exactly what I mean. It's obvious we are going there, crystal clear. So maybe all this effort is pointless. If the world's heading that way anyway, why bother fighting for human connection and unique personal stuff? That's a much deeper conversation. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole right now. For today, what I really wanted to say is YouTube is about to change. Everything is changing. In tech, progress isn't linear, it's exponential. We used to move slow and steady. Now we are about to see a massive takeoff until the next big thing comes along. And right now, that thing is artificial intelligence. I think it's potentially bigger than the internet itself. A friend once told me it might be comparable to the invention of electricity. And I've said the same thing in an earlier episode. So if you agree with any of this, or if you completely disagree and have a more optimistic take, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear something hopeful down there. Tell me how you see the future. And I really hope we can keep talking like this, human to human, for as long as possible. Not just AI-generated content taking over YouTube. Also, for anyone who stuck around this long, I'm probably gonna turn this whole podcast into a newsletter. With AI's help, obviously. I'm not hiding it, those tools are great for some things. I'll take the transcript, compress it a bit, make a nice summary like we were just talking about, and send it out on my blog. If you don't wanna miss anything, sign up to the site. A link is gonna be down in the show's description. Thank you for listening.